welcome to another edition of Extra Butter. Now more than ever, we need a faith-based movie. You better put your faith in I Still Believe. It almost reached #1. A Quiet Place 2. A Quiet Place is pretty much the theaters that was supposed to be showing A Quiet Place 2. It didn't open. And Jumanji, a world where only computer viruses could infect you. How nice that is. We'll be talking about that and more on this edition of Extra Butter. Hey, welcome you guys. I've been asking for years to get this one to co-host the show with me. It is Keristen Holmes. What's going on?
Oh, wait.
Nice to see you. How are you?
Social distancing. Very
All right.
good.
Hey, let's enjoy some virtual popcorn.
Let's. And I don't get food either. Oh, you owe me for
There
this
you go.
one.
Do you really
Virtual
want to be
popcorn.
digging into a barrel of popcorn that my grubby hands have been in, even on a good day?
I'm hungry.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to take my chances. I need food.
All right, so thanks for hanging out with us. Now might be a good time to catch up on about movies rather than go see movies.
Yeah.
What's your take? Did you go to the box office over the weekend?
I did not. I stayed home and watched some of the classics. I watched Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
I'm an old school girl.
Yeah.
And I watched Purple Rain with Prince.
Excellent.
Loved it.
All right, good. Coming up a little bit later on, I want you to dig deep into what we should be watching at home. In the meantime, I want to ask you, if you were going to go see one of the 3 big box office offerings, that would be Vin Diesel's Bloodshot, that would be I Still Believe, or of course that would be Disney Pixar's Onward. Which would you go see?
Oh, to have a conversation with my nephew, maybe the Disney movie. But, I mean, Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I still believe. I'm going to have to go for the Christian Jesus game.
There you go. It was just about a 3-way tie. This movie, when you do decide it's time to go back to the box office, I highly recommend that you go see it. Now, you don't know much about Keristen Holmes, but I'll tell you this. She cut her teeth on religious movies.
Yes, I did. Growing up in the South Arkansas, the Bible Belt, so things were a little different. And my mom was like, she wanted to control what we took in. So, first of all, we didn't have cable, and we could only watch religious programming. Kids Like You, anybody remember that on PBS? That was us all day long. Bowl of oatmeal and Kids Like You. So I've kind of seen the progression of religious movies, like Touched by an Angel. Thank God for that, because the production quality on that back in like the early 90s was good.
It's okay.
But sometimes for us it was good at the time. 'Cause a lot of times movies, like spiritual movies or religious movies, the production quality isn't there. And I'm excited about what they're doing with I Still Believe.
Yeah, me too. I like the movie a lot. I go into it thinking, will everybody like this? Even people not going to see a faith-based movie.
Damn.
I think it stands the test of throwing a broad net.
Okay.
Which is great. A spoonful of sugar helps the
Yes.
medicine go down. The right people get the message.
Absolutely. I think if you want to minister to people, you can preach to the choir or you can reach the masses. And I think as Christians, you probably want to try to reach the masses, right?
That's right.
So try to reach the masses. Masses.
Speaking of reaching the masses, you want to bring the people in, get the kid from Riverdale as your lead. That's exactly what they did. KJ Apa and Britt Robertson, I sat down with them to talk about it. 20 movies from now, what's the one day on the set or the one take where when they said, cut, move it on, you thought, I really felt like I was channeling the good stuff there?
I mean, I think
a lot of the scenes in this movie, I felt like that. I'm not gonna lie.
I felt that. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty weird. No, I'm kidding. No, there was one moment. You know this. When he has to like sing to me as I'm not doing very well, and he's just gone through not sleeping, and he's exhausted, and I asked for him to sing to me, and I remember the take that we did after coming back from lunch, and it was just like the coolest thing I've ever witnessed.
Is it terrifying knowing that you're kind of carrying the moment there?
It's just terrifying because there's so much going on for me. There was in that particular scene, I'm already kind of not as confident with my voice, so having the guitar and singing was one thing, and then to focus on where I was with you was difficult.
I almost started crying right there just thinking about that scene. That is an emotional scene. He's just there. She's playing the guitar.
I can't wait to see it in person, because seeing you react to it kind of make me want to laugh at it. But it's killing me. I'm terrible with names and faces sometimes.
Yeah.
Who is that?
So Britt Robertson was a child actress. Her first feature film, she was George Clooney's daughter in Tomorrowland.
Oh, I remember that
There
movie.
you go.
Oh my gosh. I like George Clooney. Hi, George Clooney.
All right, so now more than ever, maybe this movie, because it's based on the true life of a real Christian singer, not just a real Christian singer, but this guy, Jeremy Camp, 31 consecutive #1 Christian songs.
Yes.
Now, how do you do with this? How would you ask this question? How would you tee this up? Because you have manners. How do you tell a guy that the guy playing him in the movie looks a whole lot better than he does in real life? Where do you start?
the anointing brought you to the table, but it's not transferring to the camera, so we're going to bring someone else in. The Lord told us to bring this other person in. I don't know. That's like me like making it way too spiritual.
Man, I wish you would have done this.
But that's how you tell folks they ugly low-key. My bad.
I wish you were there, because I was just rude. Take a look.
Man, let's go straight to it. You're a good-looking man, but at the same time, as you look on the big screen and you're going, well, I got an upgrade.
I totally do. I'm very thankful. Everyone's like, wow, KJ Appa's playing you. I'm like, thank goodness. You know what I mean? That they picked him to play me. So he was incredible. Like, he's become a friend, and he's got a pure, sweet heart, and I'm very thankful he played me.
So we did there, you said anoint, I said upgrade. You got an upgrade.
You played him on TV. I love it.
All right, coming up in a moment, A Quiet Place 2. I would love for you guys to see this in theaters. You're not going to. We'll explain why and when you can when we come back. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. I'm Marcus Allen. As always, the lovely Keristen Holmes. I've been asking you for years to join us.
And I finally got clearance to be all up on Extra Butter.
Sometimes it takes a pandemic for some things to go right.
Yes.
How are you?
Very good. Thank you for having me. I'm
All right.
excited.
Yeah, thanks for being here. You guys, and I know it sounds crazy during these times to be talking about movies, but every now and then you need an escape. You need to step away. So here we are supplying
Agreed.
that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so one of my favorite horror movies of all time came a couple years ago via John Krasinski. That, of course, would be A Quiet Place. So you know how much I was
Really?
looking forward to A Quiet Place
Yes,
too, right?
I was too. I'm a huge fan of John Krasinski from The Office. Fell in love, then he married Pam, then
Right.
he married the woman in real life. And then he came up with this dope movie. So I was like, oh, A Quiet Place 2? What's going to happen? Does he come back to life? Because I wanted him to.
Yeah.
And then it got pulled.
Not very many people have seen it yet, and you won't be seeing it for a little while. To jump in on that, someone who has seen it, the lovely and talented Tara Hitchcock, everybody.
Oh my God, you've seen what we want to.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I am just as bummed as you, and partly because I have seen it, and it's excellent.
All right, so Tara, let's talk about what's going on in the world right now. When did you get the call that all of the material that you had collected to promote this movie was going away?
Well, I didn't even get the call. I got the Instagram message from John Krasinski himself, who said that he was postponing the release date, and what was, you know, kind of a funny irony, his initials are JK, so when he posted that and signed it JK, a lot of people thought he was kidding.
No.
They didn't know if he was really postponing the film, but yeah, that's the day I realized my content probably won't run for some time.
Man, that's probably run through his whole life, the whole JK thing. So Tara, you and I have known each other for decades. We've gone through a lot, like not since 9/11. Like, can you think of anything that has affected our industry like this?
Nothing at all. I've never seen anything like it. I'm sure everybody watching feels the exact same way. I've never seen the kind of reaction that it garnered immediately, the reaction that continues, the theories, the suggestions, the doctors, the press conferences, the closings, sports, theaters. I mean, you name it. Everyone's been affected. If anything comes out of this that's positive, it's that we literally can relate to everybody around the world. We're all going through this together.
Okay, so Miss Tara, when we can finally get back to our normal lives and going to the movies, what can I expect? Please tell me that John Krasinski comes back. Please, please.
Well, he does, but in the way you can probably predict from the trailer. Here's the good news. It is so worth the wait. Whether that wait is a month, 2 months, 6 months, it is very worth the wait. In fact, I was okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I sat down with him, and just to appease me, I'm going to air just a quick snippet of my little bit with John Krasinski. Take a look.
I was actually okay with you not doing a sequel. I liked the first one so much, I thought I'm okay. When I heard you were going to do one, thrilled.
Oh, good.
I need a third so bad now. Like, if you don't do
great.
a third,
Okay.
there's
Now we're
going to
have
be a
some
problem.
problems. Okay, got it.
Exactly.
Got it, yeah.
You've got to feel that, though. The story has to continue now, in my opinion, without giving anything away.
Right. No, I think at the end of the day, the first one, I never expected to do a second one, so I just sort of had these questions like who's on the other end of those fires and things like that. And I loved that the audience had those same questions. So I will say, yes, in the second one, when I was writing the second one, anytime I had one of those little ideas, I jotted them down. In case for a rainy day, we make a third one.
So what he's saying there is there's a chance.
Oh, yes.
I told him, as you heard, there's going to be a problem if there's not a part 3. They have so set this up for a third one.
Okay, so how is the lucky Mrs. John Krasinski doing in this movie? Because my girl been going through it.
She is put through the ringer in this one, but I have to to tell you, the stars of this movie are the kids.
Yes.
Millicent Simmonds and Noah Jupe are fantastic, and they shoulder a lot more of the film than they did in the last one. They are excellent. Everybody's great in this movie. You guys, I think it's hard to top the first. I don't think there's anything that could have topped the first, but this is such a satisfying continuation of the story. I can't even begin to tell you. So when we can start going to theaters and enjoying them in groups of people, and when they release this film, make it on your, put it on your priority list for sure.
And let's talk about Millicent. My applause to the producers, John and the gang, for bringing in someone that is special needs. She is hearing impaired and plays that in the movie. I had a chance to sit down with her and talk to her about that.
What does it mean to you to have a character that you certainly can relate to, but at the same time have the movie embrace it? The very first horror movie of its kind, embracing a character of this type.
It was really an interesting process. I had to feel scared and depressed all the time, and also to act like you don't know what's going to happen next, when in fact, you know, you've read the script and you know what's happening next. But you have to be in the moment, and you have to be in a situation where you let things unfold, and that was really interesting to experience.
Oh my gosh, I love Millicent so much.
And her co-star.
Yes, and the guy too, but I love her more.
Applause to John Krasinski, Mr. Just Kidding, for putting her in. I had a chance to sit down with the aforementioned Ms. John Krasinski to talk about the director and actor together. Take a listen.
You know, I have a lovely relationship with my wife, but we can't make a bowl of oatmeal without having issues.
Oh, come on.
No, it's true. How is it working with John in this way?
Well, we can make a bowl of oatmeal. We can even make a film together without
as it turns
divorcing. Yeah, as it turns out. He's wonderfully collaborative and sort of, we were nervous going into it, and then we realized that we just wanted to do it again and again. It was so cool.
All right, so Tara, the one thing to look forward to when we can see A Quiet Place 2 is what?
Oh my gosh, everything.
Okay, thank you. Hey,
say that again. It was blurry.
Yeah, get used to awkward FaceTime conversations, because that's pretty much the only conversations we're going to have moving forward with anybody, right?
I can still hang out with you, right?
Till further notice,
Okay.
things change from time to time. Where do we find you, Tara?
Well, you find me on Instagram at Tara on TV, Facebook Tara on TV, and Twitter Tara TV1.
Got it. And name the classic movie of choice. If you had one movie to isolate with for the rest of your life, what would that be?
Oh my gosh, my favorite, I think it's the same as you, Love Actually, my favorite movie of all time.
Oh,
I love Love Actually too.
Exactly, but that movie makes me want to be social.
Oh,
Well, that's
yeah.
just it. It's clearly not a movie about social distancing, because it's all about hugging and connection and loving.
Just that one person, baby, it's all you need.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Tara, thanks for hanging out. Please be safe and wash those hands.
Oh, I already did. I did before the interview. I'm going to do it right now just in case.
Wash them again and polish those Emmys while you're at it.
Okay, strategically placed.
All right, thank you, Tara Hitchcock, ladies and gentlemen. All right, when we come back, in these times of isolation, how would you like to lock yourself up with The Rock?
Just me and The Rock?
Yeah, or
The Rock? Hey, it sounds like a lovely experience.
if that doesn't do it for you, maybe Kevin Hart. Regardless, Jumanji 2 heading your way. Why you should see it at home, because that might be your only choice. Next. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. It's a show about movies. We talk about movies pretty much the way you talk about movies. And right now, am I wrong? People are talking about movies by saying, are you going to the movies?
Yeah, it's a lot going on right now. As the news person, it's like, you know, you have to practice social distancing. We might be a little closer than maybe we should be, but we just trying to bring you some good quality TV show right here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When you do go back to movies, we'll be talking about those. But right now, let's talk about stuff that's fun to isolate with. Timing is good, because if you're new at home this weekend for longer periods of time than you had planned on being at home, you got Jumanji 2.
You do, Jumanji 2. Now, I remember the first one, I was a little girl, so I fell in love with everything Jumanji.
Now,
so
you're talking
this one-
back in the day, Robin Williams.
I mean, don't back in the day me, so I'm only 34, but you know, I mean, it was a little back in the gap, yeah.
All right, I'm too young to remember that version of Jumanji. However, I do harken back to a time a couple years ago when Jumanji came aboard with, you know, Kevin Hart
Yes.
and Dwayne Johnson,
Yes.
and we said they're never going to replace the original, but they recreated it and made a great thing.
You're not wrong, because I was like, I don't know.
People were wondering, would Jumanji 2 be as good as the original, and what do you think?
It's good, y'all straight. Watch it.
All right, what are things that they got right with this Jumanji?
Okay, so I love that they have this sense of girl power. Sometimes we need that push, the girl power, woman power, whatever you want to call it. But like even when they do the role reversals.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, honey, you got to see that.
I had a chance to sit down with the three lovely ladies in this. That, of course, would be Awkwafina.
Yes.
Karen Gillan, and Jack Black. Him too. Take a listen.
So when we saw all of you walk in, you know, we can read body language. You can always tell when cast like pretend to get along or they really got along. I can tell you guys love each other. I mean, there have to be 30 more of these films before the day is done.
We love each other.
I mean, yeah, we should do 30 more of these movies.
At least one more. Can we just agree on one more?
Where we can play different characters or different players of our avatars again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jumanji 3's got a good ring to it.
Yeah.
Jumanji 30, it sounds a little overkill.
Overdone.
I think that might be like different actors by that point because we will have aged so much.
Well, if we do
Possibly
if
died.
we get on a real strict like Netflix schedule where we do like 3 a year,
Yeah, okay.
we can get that done before 2030.
They are awesome together. I love that in an ensemble movie like this one especially because there's so many different role reversals because of the whole transportation into the game.
You're right.
You're lumping a lot of different people together. No matter who they pair together, there's chemistry.
Yes. Oh, my favorite pair is the Dannys. Can we call them the Dannys? Danny DeVito and Danny Glover. I love you, Danny Glover, and I love you right here too.
They're so great together. And then I don't want to plot spoil in case you haven't seen it, but anybody that has to inhabit the body of those, you got all these people running around doing their own Danny DeVito impression.
I already know. I cannot yeah, of course. What are you doing? Of course. What else you gonna do?
I had a chance to sit down with them and talk about that. Take a look.
For the two of you, it had to be an extraordinary opportunity, and I'll be very careful how I play this back. Extraordinary to see other people beat you.
Yes.
How was that?
Oh, it's great. It was great. And I think that both our avatars did really well, Dwayne and Kevin. So I was very happy to see that Dwayne dove right into Jersey. You know, it was really great.
Yeah.
And
at the press conference, I got to see Kevin do you right next to you. Is that awkward or a joyful moment?
I've been fortunate as well as Danny here has been fortunate. We've had these iconic moments where people always remember us by those moments. Always remember. You know, no matter how old we get, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love those guys together.
No, it's really good. I'm glad you guys waited around to see that because it's really good. So I gotta ask though, did you talk to my guys? You know who I'm talking about, Kevin Hart, and, you know, The Rock.
I buried the lead. Not only did I talk to them, they had a life-altering experiment for me.
Oh?
I'll explain a little bit later on. When we come back, yes, I sat down with them. Why you need to stream, why you need to see Jumanji 2 in your home, since you're there anyway, when we come back.
We stuck, y'all.
Hey, welcome back. It is Extra Butter. If you're just joining us right now, it's a movie show where we talk about movies the way you talk about movies. And right now we're talking about movies the way you watch movies at home because that's what you're doing.
Yeah, y'all stuck at the house, ain't you? Me too.
Exactly.
Me too.
So if you're streaming, you got something new. That, of course, would be Jumanji 2. The stars of that show, Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart.
Yes, and I love them both together. And the fact that they are doing more than one movie together says something. Someone saw something the first time they were, I think it was Central Intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone was like, oh, let's go ahead and keep this going.
I know, like you and I were talking about Danny DeVito and Danny Glover saying they need to do another thing together.
Yes.
Someone saw that movie and said, these guys would be great together.
I like it.
And I don't know where it came from that they would jump into Jumanji a couple years ago, but I'm glad that worked. I'm glad they did this sequel. It worked brilliantly.
I'm here for it.
All right, so they shot that movie in various locations. Part of the pickup shots were done in Mexico, and one of the biggest canyons in Mexico is called Wild Canyon. And guess who jumped in that canyon?
I can only imagine you.
And guess why I jumped in that canyon?
I knew you jumped in the canyon. What I tell you about jumping in the canyons? What you jumping in the canyon for?
Because, did your mom ever say, if someone told you to jump in a canyon, would you?
Yeah, she did ask me that. You know what I told her? No.
What?
I got a Southern mama. She don't play. Mama.
Yeah, I told my mom yes, because of these knuckleheads.
I've been seeing you a lot, and it confirmed last night at the press conference the relationship hasn't changed much since the last time we sat down.
Before we get into our relationship, it's something Kevin and I want to know.
Yeah.
Are you going to profess your love and respect to Jumanji and jump in the Wild Canyon?
Wow, that's a good one.
You mean the bungee jump?
The bungee
That's
jump.
the biggest canyon in Mexico. Are you nuts?
Yes, we are nuts, but that's what you do.
I'm going to be honest, that would be a very nice gesture on your behalf to show how loyal you are
to what we
For the many years that we've given you.
This is a relationship.
All right.
In return, we just ask to see, you know.
There's a camera on me now, so yes, I'll do it. Okay.
You'll do it.
That's good.
I'll do it.
That
All
makes
right.
me
I'll
happy.
do it.
Finally.
This
we
might
get
be
to
the
see
last
it.
interview
Finally.
I ever get to do, but I'm doing it. You know what I love about that? Like, you and I work together side by side on a daily basis on a variety of things, right?
We sit across from each other too, y'all.
And we're friends, right?
Yes, I
And so
promise.
it just makes life so much better. So there's a part of me that really likes knowing that Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson are good friends. You can tell it just watching their interaction.
Yes, I love that. Authenticity is so important.
And I like seeing them together. I like them hanging out, and I like this movie. Why should people stream Jumanji 2?
Oh, first of all, on your list of movies to watch, it should be up there. Second of all, Dwayne Johnson is fine. Kevin Hart is funny. Need I say more, or can I say that? Was that inappropriate?
No, I think people are so worried about more important things right now. We can get away with everything.
Yay!
All right, who needs protocol? They're in human resources is phoning it in.
Okay, back to this canyon.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up with the canyon, bro? Don't try to get away from that because I told you about doing all this dangerous stuff. I need you.
I jumped in the canyon, and it went like this. Let's do it. Stop. 3, 2, 1, bungee. Ah! Ah! Son of a mother. Ah! Ah! Oh no. Oh Lord help me. Oh goodness gracious. That can't be good.
Mark, what did I tell you about doing all this dangerous stuff? Are you
They-
okay?
they
Like,
asked
is there
me to
any
do it.
permanent damage?
The ankle harness, a little chafing, and then there's some organs that are rearranged that I'll have to show you a diagram after we're over.
Take care of yourself.
Okay. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Please be safe. Wash your hands and then wash them again and be
Please.
good to each other and don't hoard.
Stop it, y'all. Why y'all buying the toilet paper anyway? I don't get it.
Exactly. Don't hoard, stream. All right. So where will we find you online?
At Keristen Holmes TV. Hey, y'all.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All right. For All Extra Butter, be sure and like and subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you next time. Again, be safe. Did I tell you to wash your hands?
Elbow bump.
Wash your hands.